Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. Guys, everyone. Guys, everyone, please check your audio and video settings, please. Respond, guys. Yeah. Listen, guys. According to yesterday's class, who represents the data source? Who represents the connection pool? Data source represents the connection. Any operation on the connection pool will be done by who? Data source object, right? Come on, guys. Who represents connection pool? JDBC connection pool, data source object. What do you mean by that? All operations on connection pool will be done by using data source object. Okay. Can I make data source as a Spring Bean? Yes. And moreover, Ikari data source object, do I need to make Spring Bean manually or it will come through auto configuration? Respond. Do I need to make it as Spring Bean separately or it will become through auto configuration? Come as Spring Bean through auto configuration, right? When you add JDBC jar, JPA jars, automatically the Spring Bean becomes yeah, look at overall purpose of the application, guys. Storyboard of the mini project layered application task. Get employee details from EMP-DB table of Oracle based on the given 3 designation. This is my requirement. Real-time DA test client application is passing designation 1, designation 2, designation 3 to controller. Exactly 3 designation or 3 arguments of the methods. Controller class is passing same these designation to service and service IMPL class. Is passing same 3 designation to service and service IMPL class. Got it, guys? Yeah. Service and service IMPL class passing the same 3 designation by converting them to uppercase letter DAO and DAO IMPL class. DAO and DAO IMPL class. DAO IMPL class is injected with the data source. From using that data source, it will get one connection object from connection pool. Using that connection object, it will prepare statement object. It will prepare statement object. It will send and execute SQL query in database software having those designations. It will send and execute SQL query in database software having those designations, guys. Yeah, select SQL query having 3 designations as a condition. Because of this, you will get bunch of records. Because of that, you will get bunch of records into result set object. Perfect. DAO class converts result set object records into employee class objects. Later, those employee class objects are added to list collection. Now listen carefully. In result set, let us assume 10 records have come. 10 records will be copied to 10 objects of Java Bean class. But to combine all these objects into single unit, we are going to keep all these objects into list collection or not? We are going to keep all these objects into list collection or not? Yeah. SQL query executed in employee DB table, guys. Perfect. Okay. You will get the records having bunch of employee details, employee records. Okay. Suppose result set object with 10 records. Each record I am copying into one object of Java Bean class, nothing but model class. Okay, 10 records are there. Total how many objects of Java Bean class will be created? 10 objects. Representing how many records? 10 records. But now I want to combine these 10 objects into single unit. I can put in the list collection, array list kind of collection. So ultimately what happened, guys? Based on given three designations, whatever records are selected in employee table will come to us in the form of employee Java Bean class objects placed in list collection. Okay, now this list collection goes to whom? Service class. Okay, service class. Okay, service class, if needed, can calculate gross salary and net salary based on the given salary as part of business logic, passes them to controller class. Controller class will passes them to client application. Client application will present them to end user. So end user will get okay list of employee objects based on the given three designations or not. Based on the given three designations or not. Is it not interesting, Ravabu? This is the layered application. Check it out. Client application having presentation logic. It gathers three designations from end user by through using presentation logic, using SOP, system.out.println, system.in.read scanner, whatever it is. And what it displays, guys, after submitting those three designation, you will get employee records. Okay, those employee details it is presenting as the output. Okay, three designations have gone to controller. Controller won't do anything. Passes to service class. Service class converts those lowercase designations into uppercase designations. After all, table level they are there in uppercase. Passes to DAO class. DAO class is injected with what? Data source. Using data source gets the connection object from the connection. Gets the connection object from the connection. Yeah. Sends the SQL query to database software, executes the query. When query select query executed on EMP table having three designations, it selects a bunch of records and gives to DAO class in the form of result set object. Okay. But sending result set to service controller client is bad part. In DAO class, only you have to write persistence logic. Service class, controller class, you should not write any kind of JDBC code. If you write, it will be blunder. So then what should I do? I have to convert result set object records into other Java objects, guys. So each record of result set is converted into one Java Bean class object. Let us assume 10 records have come into result set object. So how many objects they will be kept, guys? They will be kept in 10 objects of Java Bean. At the end, those 10 objects will be added to list collection. So that list of Java Bean objects are passed to service class. Service class will calculate gross salary and net salary based on the basic salary on those objects. On the list of employee class objects, it will calculate gross salary, net salary. Passes list of employee objects to controller class. Controller class. Controller class passes to client application. Client application passes to end user. Okay. If I give all these main classes as Spring Beans, data source, DAO class, service class, controller class as Spring Beans, guys. What happened? I can inject data source object to DAO. I can inject DAO to service. I can inject service to controller. Service to controller. I want reply, boss. Yeah, I can enjoy dependency injection. Ikari data source object can be injected to DAO class object. DAO class object to service. Service object to controller. Sir, can't we inject controller to real-time DA test? Not required. Why, sir? Or in real-time DA test only, I have a main method. There only I create IOC container. I can get controller class object by calling ctx.getBean method. After all, that is a client application. So client application always perform dependency lookup purpose. Okay. Right. Where did you use dependency injection in your project? My project is layered application having controller service DAO data sources as Spring Bean. In that process, I injected data source to DAO, DAO to service, service to controller. So like that, I have done dependency injection. Any domain project, same story. You need not to take domain names, class names, guys. My project is layered application having multiple layers like data source, DAO class, service class, controller class. I configure them as Spring Bean and there I enable the dependency injection. I configure them as Spring Bean. There I enable the dependency injection. There I enable the dependency injection. Superna, boss. Data source object to DAO, DAO to service, service to controller. And client application gets this one. Check it out. Data source class object will be injected to DAO class object. DAO class object will be injected to service class object. Service class object will be injected to controller class object. Client application gets controller class object using ctx.getBean method. In all the three places, dependency injection using @auto. Here, dependency lookup using ctx.getBean method. In one project, we are able to do both dependency injection and dependency lookup now, boss. In layered applications of Spring and Spring Boot applications, we make classes of different layers, service, DAO, controller, and etc. as different Spring Beans to make IOC container taking care of their lifecycle management and dependency management. Since I am making data source, DAO, service, controller class as Spring Bean, the Spring container is taking care of their lifecycle management and dependency management or not. Cycle management and dependency management are now. Service class. To make Java class as Spring Bean come service class. To make Java class as Spring Bean come DAO class. To make Java class as Spring Bean come controller class. @service repository controller. Okay. Listen. Anyhow, data source becomes as Spring Bean through auto configuration. Leave it. DAO class, I make it as Spring Bean come Spring Bean using @repository so that I can enjoy automatic exception translation facility. Service class, I can make Spring Bean using @service. Controller class, I can make it Spring Bean using @controller. Suppose, I hope you got it, guys. How did you use dependency injection in your project? Very popular interview question. My project is layered application having Data source DAO service controller class as Spring Beans. Okay, there I injected data source to DAO to service to controller classes through dependency injection. Simply through dependency injection. Is that clear, boss? Simply through dependency injection. I hope you understood my statement, guys. Okay, now I am giving the storyboard, guys. Yeah. Now listen very carefully, guys. Sir, Ikari data source comes through auto configuration as a data source. Every data source object points to JDBC connection pool. Perfect. Every data source object points to JDBC connection pool. I want reply. Now tell me, boss, how does it knows in the connection pool which database connection object it has to create? How does it knows in that connection pool which database software connection objects it should create? In the application dot properties, you have kept entries, data source entries or JDBC details towards MySQL. In the connection pool, connection objects of MySQL will be created. If we keep Oracle JDBC driver detail in the connection pool, Oracle connection objects will be created. What, guys? Oracle connection objects will be created. Check it out. The Ikari data source object represented JDBC connection pool will have set of readily available JDBC connection objects pointing to database software whose JDBC driver details are specified in application.properties file. Specified in application.properties file. If application.property file contains Oracle JDBC driver detail, then we get JDBC connection pool having connection objects of Oracle. MySQL JDBC driver detail. Then we get JDBC connection objects of MySQL. Oracle radio driver details, connection objects of Oracle. MySQL, connection objects of MySQL. Clear, my dear? Got the point, my dear? Yeah, listen. Here, what we are doing, guys. When we add spring-boot-start-jdbc version.jar file as a dependency, we get following classes as Spring Beans through auto configuration. Hikari data source object, JDBC template object, named parameter JDBC template object, and etc. Okay, these two are unused objects, guys. They are wasted object. But Hikari data source object is very useful here. We can give inputs to any auto configuration activity using application.property file entries, and we can make Hikari data source object pointing to JDBC connection pool for Oracle by providing Oracle JDBC driver details in application.property file. Here, how many keys are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 4 keys are there. Here, 4 JDBC driver details are there. Oracle JDBC driver details are there. Right now, boss? So that what happens, guys? By taking these inputs, by seeing this starter in the class path, you will get Hikari data source object through auto configuration as Spring Bean. But that object will point to JDBC connection pool in which Oracle connection objects are there. In which Oracle JDBC connection objects are there. Clear, my dear? In which Oracle JDBC connection objects are there. You getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Hikari data source object representing JDBC connection pool. All the connection objects in connection pool represents connectivity with Oracle, because after all, Oracle JDBC driver details I have written now, boss. After all, Oracle JDBC driver details I have written now, boss. Okay, now listen carefully. Hmm. Listen carefully. These keys are fixed, guys, but values you have to give according to the database software you want to work. So I have given Oracle JDBC driver detail so that Hikari data source object that comes through auto configuration will point to JDBC connection pool for Oracle. So overall, we got Hikari data source object pointing to our got JDBC connection pool for Oracle or not. Okay, now let me make you people feeling this one practically. Let me make you people feeling this one practically, guys. I'm launching Eclipse, boss. Yeah, what's your batch, guys? 901 PB. Uh, Here, new Spring Starter project. New Spring Starter project. Boot pros. Boot IOC pros 3. Mini project. Laid application. Mini project to laid application. Say next. Mini project to laid application. Say next. What are the starters I want to add? JDBC starter I want to add. JDBC API. This is the one starter. Oracle starter I want to add, guys. This is the one thing. Array, when I take Java class, Java Bean, guys, model class, Java Bean model class, we need to have getter setter methods. We need to have getter setter method. To generate getter setter method dynamically, we can take Lambda API. We can take the support of Lambda API. I think everyone watched Lambda API videos. I hope everyone practiced Lambda API videos, guys. Beautiful videos they are now. Project has come. See, guys, event dependencies. Yeah. Event dependency. Hikari CP is coming. Am I adding this? So that means when I add starters, main dependent relevant jars also coming. SL4J, Spring JDBC is a dependent jar. Transaction is dependent jar. Main jar file, dependent jar file, relevant jars are coming. Okay, Hikari data source comes through auto configuration, but every data source points to connection pool. Every data source points to connection pool having connection objects. Which database connection objects? It should point to which database connection objects. That really matters or not? That really matters or not? Okay, that is decided based on what, guys? The JDBC properties you pass, guys. Yeah, JDBC properties for JDBC properties of Oracle for a data source. Keys are fixed, guys. You need not to mug up, guys. You can collect from internet. Data source dot driver hyphen class hyphen name. ah, driver hyphen class hyphen name. You don't want to use hyphen symbols. You can write C capital, N capital, single word. Okay. What's the driver class name, guys? You will get help also. Keys are fixed, values will change according to our requirement. Driver dot Oracle driver. I think those you know little bit of JDBC, they are aware of driver class name story. What is this? JDBC URL or just URL? JDBC URL. Okay, no, just data source dot URL. Here also, guys, just driver class name, not specific to anything. JDBC URL, only URL, only URL. Tell me. JDBC colon, or kill colon, thin colon, @localhost colon, 1521 colon x. Data source dot username system. Spring dot data source dot password. Next. Spring dot data source dot password managed. Everyone getting my point there, guys? Are you getting my point? Yeah, in your system, ORCL is there, take ORCL. We are ready, boss. We are ready. Okay, now tell me, guys, in the DAO class, I am going to write JDBC. The JDBC code is going to send and execute SQL query, right? But each record of SQL query, I want to store into what? One model class object. So better to take one model class having getter setter methods ready. New package. com.nt.model. Java bean I have to take. Okay. Right click class. Employee. Any name I can take, guys. Employee. Private. Tell me, guys. While taking Java bean, guys, better to take simple data types or wrapper data types. For the properties, better to take simple data types or wrapper data types. Better to say specify simple data types or wrapper data types. Wrapper. Why? Simple data type integer means no value means zero. While inserting record, zero will be inserted. Null value means no value. While null means nothing will be inserted in the table. So wrapper betters and suppose average no value means 0.0. So while insertion 0.0 will be inserted. Wrapper float no value means null. Null means no value will be inserted. Null means no value will be inserted. So wrapper is better, simple is better. Wrapper is always better, right? Integer, EMPNO. Private string ename. You can take your choice name. Private string job. Private integer sal. Private integer sal. Private integer sal, guys. Tell me next one. Integer sal. Integer DEPTNO. Yeah, for business logic purpose, I am taking float gross salary. Array. Based on EMP predefined table EMP, I am writing all the things. I am taking net salary. Gross salary, net salary are extra properties, guys. Okay. So right now you observe only properties are there. In this class, only properties are there. Yeah. Now I'm introducing Lambda KPI annotation, boss. At the rate data. Yeah. Getter setter methods. Dynamically generated now, boss. Getter setter methods. Getter method, setter method, equals method. Okay. Zero param constructor came. Hash code method, toString method. Lambda KPI is showing its power or not? Lambda KPI is showing its power or not? I want reply. But listen, if you add Lambda KPI jar, that is not sufficient, guys. You have to configure Lambda KPI in your Eclipse IDE. You have to configure Lambda KPI in your Eclipse IDE. Don't forget that. You need to configure Lambda KPI in your Eclipse IDE. Okay. Yes, boss. How to configure Lambda KPI plugin in Eclipse IDE? How to configure Lambda KPI plugin in Eclipse IDE? How to configure Lambda KPI plugin in Eclipse IDE, boss? Where is this guy's answer? Answer. Okay. Answer. Okay. Let me give the procedure first to you people. Window menu. Not window menu. Okay. Install new software. Okay. Fatan Patel. IntelliJ Eclipse both are IDEs, boss. Okay. So if you know one IDE, can't you work with another IDE? You are this much dumma, Fatan. Fatan, you have worked with, okay, you have worked with, Android mobile. Someone gifted you, what is that, iPhone? You will say you don't like iPhone or you will reject iPhone. One boss. Right. Next, how to add plugins in IntelliJ. So there will be a process to add plugins in IntelliJ. If you don't know, search in the internet for 2 minutes. How to install plugins in IntelliJ. They will give procedure. You can take it and use it. So please don't expect everything should be learned with spoon feeding. For something, there is a Google kind of thing, right? Mm. In Eclipse, you have install plugin. Who knows? In IntelliJ, there might be a built-in plugin. There is no need of doing anything, right? First, go and experience it, guys. Don't become panic. Yeah, there is something called P2, Lambda KPI P2 plugin. Lambda KPI Project Lambda P2 plugin. It's coming now. Lambda KPI Project P2 plugin. Select everything. Actually, all items are already installed, guys. Okay, this is the URL you have to take. This is the URL you have to take. This is the URL. This is already installed. Okay, I'll give the procedure, guys. Sir, this URL in the history it is not coming. You type it then. If it is not coming, you type it. Go to Windows menu, help menu, install new software. Install new software. Go to help menu, install new software. Okay, install new software. Okay, search and add the URL. Search and add URL. This is the URL that you have to add, boss. Okay, then select all search boxes. What is this? Select all check boxes. Yes, you are selecting all check boxes here, boss. Say next. Next. Okay. Asked to restart ID. Asked to restart ID. Dot dot. Yeah. With that work is done now, boss. Yeah. In my system already done. That's why getter setter methods are coming. Easy na, boss. It's easy na. Now listen. Come back to the storyboard. Come back to the storyboard. Okay. I'm developing DAO interface and IMPL class, guys. Everyone, please focus. DAO interface, public interface, I employee DAO, public list employee, get employees by designation, first designation, second designation, third designation. Anything great in this example, guys? Giving three designations uh, to the database table along with the SQL select query. And whatever records you get into result set object, I want to convert them into employee class objects. Later, I want to add to list collection. That's a list employee is the return type or not. List employee is the return type or not, guys. Super. And here is the entity. Here is the model class as a Java. Yeah, this is the DAO IMPL class. Listen, guys. In DAO IMPL class, two parts will be there, code and queries. We always separate query from the code. All the queries will be written at the top of the class to differentiate them from the code. Listen, in my DAO class, 20 methods are implemented, 20 queries are written, or 30 queries are written in the middle of the method, that too lowercase. Tomorrow, table name, column name, I have to change, guys. Going to each method, where is query, changing column name, table name is bit complex. If I place all SQL queries at the top of the DAO class, that too in uppercase letters, that too as a private static final variable values, accessing the query and modifying the query whenever table name, column name change, requirement change, it becomes easy or not. Listen, guys, in your room, you will keep all items together, or you will separate different items in different places. Books in one place, clothes in one place, so that whenever you want to go out, you can collect the books. We can collect the clothes very fastly, and we can use them. Whenever you want to do preparation, you can access the books fastly, and you can do preparation, right? So similarly in DAO class, All SQL queries will be kept at the top of the class, that too in uppercase letter, as the values of what? Private static final variables. Why private? To make those queries visible inside the class. Why is static? To access them through methods. To access them within the class, with object, without object. Why final? Nowhere else these queries should be modified. Any modification should be done at the time of declaration. Okay. Why final? Why string? Array queries is a text content, guys. That's why string. Query is a text content. That's why string we are taking. Private static final string. Get underscore emp is underscore query. That's foot. Select employee number, employee name, job sal department from emp where job in three question marks order by job. Why private? To make this query specific to this class. Why static? To access query in all the methods. To access the query in all the methods without having object. Why final? So no one should modify this query in the rest of the application. Why string? Array query is a text content, that's why string data type. Why variable in uppercase letter? To tell that it is not a normal variable, this is the constant variable. Final variable means constant variable. That's why we take in uppercase letter. Why query in uppercase letter? To tell that it is not a Java statement, it is a query. In DAO class, I hope you understood, guys. In DAO class, query and code will be separated. Query will always be taken at the top of the class as the values of private static final variables. Private static final variable, right? Hmm. Okay, at the rate auto void private data source DS. What is the class that is coming as auto configuration, guys? As Spring Bean, Hikari data source. All data source classes directly or indirectly implements data source interface. So at the time of injection, we take property type as interface type na boss. We take property type as interface type na boss. Come on. In DAO class, we always separate query from the code. We place SQL queries at the top of the class in uppercase letters as the values of string constant variable, private static final for the easy modification purpose. For the easy modification purpose, right, boss? Simply for easy modification purpose, guys.
అంటే నేను పర్సనల్ మా ఫ్రెండ్స్ మా ఫ్రెండ్ లాయర్స్ వాళ్ళతో మీకు చెప్తాను సార్ అసలు ఈ విషయం ఏంటి ఆ లాయర్ ప్రొఫెషనల్ గా చెప్తున్నారా లేదా కమర్షియల్ గా చెప్తున్నారా మనకి ఇద్దరు ఏమన్నా అవసరం మనం చూసుకోవచ్చు ఆ పర్సనల్ నాలెడ్జ్ కోసం మీకు చెప్తాను సార్
We place SQL queries at the top of the class in uppercase letters. Right now. Tell me, guys, what is the other one? All data source classes implement Java x.sql data source interface. So we can inject data source object to DAO class object by placing auto void on the top of Java x.sql data source interface type has a property. Type has a property. type has a property. Public list employee, guys. Public list employee. Get employees by designation. Designation 1, designation 2, designation 3 throws exception. Are you getting my point? Designation 1, designation 2, designation 3 throws exception. And I am developing the business method, guys. List employee list is equal to null. Reference variable basically null. Okay, and I try with resource boss. I think everyone knows. Inside the try, I'm writing the code means what? Try with resource. Connection con is equal to ds dot get connection. From ds, I am getting one pooled connection object. Using that connection object, I am preparing prepared statement object having SQL query. The people who knows little bit of JDBC, they are aware of this. They are aware of both the activities. I'm getting connection object from connection pool. I'm accessing prepared statement object from the connection object having the query. Okay, query is having how many parameters, my dear? 3 parameters. Query is having how many parameters, guys? 3 parameters. And this business DAO class method is also getting how many arguments, guys? 1, 2, 3. 3 argument. Can I set those 3 arguments as 3 query parameters? Set a string 1 comma designation 1. First parameter designation 1. 2 comma designation 2. 3 comma designation 3. So for 3 parameter, 3 question marks are set. Okay. Tell me, we have a prepared statement object pointing to the query. Using prepared statement object, we can send we can send and execute the query now, boss. Using prepared statement object, we can send and execute the query now, boss. I want reply. Yeah, definitely. When you execute select query, you will get result set object. I'm taking nested try with resource, guys. Result set rs is equal to ps dot execute query. Result set rs is equal to ps dot execute query. Tell me, my dear, what's happening? Result set rs is equal to ps dot execute query, boss. Yeah, you are going to get one more result set object having bunch of records. Yeah. Okay, now here is the while loop, guys. Here is the while loop. I will explain in Eclipse. I know when to explain in Eclipse. Tiwari, you don't have idea what I'm doing? First storyboard, then implementation. Worst fellow. Tiwari, are you blind? First storyboard, then coding in the Eclipse. Without knowing this, you are attending classes these many days. Dirty fellow. You're this much dumb guy, guys. You're this much dumb. Can you draw this diagram or diagrams in Eclipse IDE? Where these people comes ra, Babu? First listen class ra, don't teach how to teach the subject. Mr. Tiwari Babu. I want reply from Tiwari. Problem is what, you don't know JDBC. That's why you are saying all this stuff. First try to know JDBC, Babu. Mahan Purusha. Boss, I know what to teach, when to teach, how to teach. You don't decide there. First listen, focus, try to attend classes with the prerequisites. Don't know ABC of JDBC and trying to dance here. Dirty fellow. Come on, guys. The people who are having JDBC, are they enjoying? The people who are having JDBC, are you enjoying, guys? I clearly said Core Java plus JDBC basics are the prerequisites. Did I say or not? Did I say or not? Tiwari, please respond. What is the difference between simple statement object and prepared statement object? Tiwari, can you respond? No, no reply. But he will tell how to explain. Waste fellow. Prepared statement and simple statement. What is the difference? Prepared statement is dynamica. Then what simple statement? First try to know that. First try to know that. Okay. Yeah, tell me guys. We got a connection here, everyone. Everyone, leave it. Ignore that worst fellow. Ignore that worst fellow. Connection con is equal to ds dot get connection, right? We got a pooled connection there. Perfect. Then we got a prepared statement object pointing to the query. Yes or no? Na? Query, precompiled query. What is the state? Simple statement object deals with the static query. Query compilation takes place just before execution. But in prepared statement, query becomes what? Precompiled query. Query will be precompiled irrespective of whether it will be executed or not. The query will be compiled in database software irrespective of whether it will be executed or not, right? Simple statement object is like current ticket booking, watching the movie. Before watching movie, book the ticket. Prepared statement object is like what? Advanced ticket booking. 10 days before only you booked the ticket. There is no guarantee after 10 days you will alive or not, you will be there in city or not, but you still booked the ticket, right? It's like advanced ticket booking, boss. Using simple statement object, if you execute the query for 200 times, 200 times compilation, 200 times execution. Using prepared statement object, if you execute query for 200 times, only one time it will be compiled. Remaining 200 times it will execute, just executes with different inputs. Yeah, this gives me connection object. It gives pooled connection object, right? Pooled JDBC connection object, guys. DS dot get connection, right, boss? After that, prepared statement object having pre-compiled query. Method is having how many arguments? 3 arguments. 3 arguments are set as 3 query parameter values. That's it. So we got what? Result set object when you execute the query. So now challenge is what? We got result set object like this. Result set object having 3 records. What should I do? Each record I should copy to object of employee class, and all these objects should be added to list collection. All these objects should be added to list collection. What do you say, guys? Now listen. While rs dot next, by default cursor in result set object resides in what? BFR position. rs dot next, first record. First record is a record of yes, true. True means what happened? Copy each record to employee class object, right? Then add it to list collection. First copy each record to employee class object. Employee emp is equal to new employee. Empty object of employee is created. Emp dot set EID. I am setting value to EID property. Rs dot get int of 1. 101 is copied and set to employee object. Emp dot set ename. Rs dot get string of 2. Raja is copied to employee object. Set designation. Rs dot get string of 3. Clerk is copied to employee object. Set department number. Rs dot get int of 4. 9000 is copied to employee object. Emp dot get salary. Rs dot get float of 5. 45.6. Whatever it is, salary. Okay, salary is copied to employee object. Add each model class object to rs. List dot add emp. See here what I am doing. first few lines, copying each record into employee object. Now we are adding that employee object to list collection now. Now we are adding that employee object to list collection now, boss. Is it not interesting? Okay, while rs dot next, guys. Now, at least now you realize why I'm explaining in the paintbrush. While rs dot next, control comes to second record. Second record is now copied to what? Employee object. Super. Now that employee object is added to list collection. Perfect. Okay, while rs dot next, control comes to third record. Come on. Can I explain like this when I go for Eclipse? Not possible. That's the reason I'm explaining in the paintbrush. Okay, third record. Employee EMP is equal to new employee of. Empty object is created. Because of this code, third record is copied to employee object. List dot add EMP. Third object is added to list collection. While rs dot next, cursor come to ALR position. Cursor comes to ALR position. Understanding my statement? Cursor comes to ALR position. Yes, boss. Tell me ALR. While RS dot next, it goes to ALR position, will come out of the loop. By the time we come out of the loop, what happened? All the three records are copied to three objects of model class and they are added to list collection. Added to list collection. End of the while loop. Try two, try one. We are catching and handling exception. Again, catching and handling unknown exceptions. And at the end, I am returning list collection. End of the method, end of the class. But listen, in the catch block, we are not only catching and displaying exception, we are rethrowing exception so that whatever exception that is raised goes to caller. Caller means service class method. There also, if you don't catch and handle, goes to controller. There also, if you don't catch and handle, goes to client. And there also, if you don't catch and handle, goes to end user. And ultimately, exception raised in DAO is passed to end user now, boss. Why are you doing that exception rethrowing, sir? Simple reason. Why are you doing that exception rethrowing concept, sir? Array, from where inputs are given to end user, given by end user to the client application, where outputs are displayed from client application. Suppose while executing the code in DAO class, problem has come. That problem should be presented to end user through client. That problem should be presented to end user through client. Yeah, so what happened? Though exception is raised, caught and handled in DAO, that should be suppressed in DAO itself? No. Should be passed to service. From there should be passed to controller. From there should be passed to client application. In client application, catch and handle and show appropriate message to end user. Array, listen, boss. You are visiting the website through browser, giving inputs, getting the output. If any problem is there in execution of website, through browser only end user should know, na boss. Through browser only end user should know, na boss. No, I have not done like this. In DAO class, I caught and handle exception, and in the catch block, I suppressed the exception. If I suppress the exception, do you think that exception goes to service? No. Without going to service, it goes to controller? No. Without going to controller, does it goes to client? No. Without going to client, can we present to end user? No. So that's why there should be a good habit of what? Exceptions raised in DAO should be passed to service, service to controller, controller to client, so that client can catch and handle and can display exception related messages to end user as non-technical messages, na boss. Simply as the non-technical messages. Is it not interesting, Ra Babu? Okay. This is called exception propagation, right? Yeah. In layered application development, we need to catch and rethrow the exception in the following layers to pass or propagate the exception to caller or previous layer. DAO layer, service layer, controller layer. And we need to catch and handle exception in client application to present exception to end user in the form of non-technical guiding message, because all inputs, all outputs errors should be taken or given to or from to end user only from client application. You are giving in end user is giving inputs to application through client, getting output of the project through client. So if any problems are raised in the code execution, those problems also should be presented to the end user through client only, na? So that's why what we should do. Yeah, now listen, very fastly let me write the DAO class. Yeah, tell me now if I write the code here, it looks very interesting. Mr. Tiwari Babu, at least you understood my plan. I employee DAO. 1 minute. Mr. Tiwari, you understood the plan? Are you there, Mr. Tiwari, waste fellow? Don't become excited, boss. How to teach subject, I will tell. No response now. Okay, employee. See, now if I write the code, it looks like a known code. Yeah, first storyboard explanation in the paintbrush, then coding here. Okay, show all employees by designations. Show all employees by designations, right? Okay. String designation 1, designation 2, designation 3. Yeah, now I want to propagate the exception, guys. So we have to take a declaration of the exception like this now, boss. Control plus shift plus 1. Okay, now I'm taking DAO IMPL class. Is that clear? The people who are having JDBC knowledge, I hope you are enjoying this. DAO IMPL implements iEmployee DAO. Guys, people who are having JDBC knowledge, any rocket science here? How to make it as a Spring Bean? It is a DAO class. DAO class means repository interface. Okay, EMPDAO is the bean ID. What I want to inject, guys, data source. During injection, I take interface type properties or class type properties, interface type of properties. Today Ikari data source, tomorrow if not Ikari, something else, right? Tomorrow if not Ikari, something else, guys. List employee, list is equal to null. Okay. Try with resource, guys. What's the advantage of try with resource? Whatever streams you opened in try, they will be closed automatically at the end of the try. Do I need to close the resources manually, guys? DS dot get connection. That's a basic advantage with the try with resource, right? So what our prepared statement PS is equal to con dot prepare statement, guys. Con dot prepare statement. Get employees by designations. Okay. Open the floor bracket, close the floor bracket. But here I should write the query at the top of the class. Private static final string. Get EMPs by designations, right? See, exactly I did same thing. I talked about starter and model class, then I implemented here. I talk about DAO class, I am implementing. So that you will get 2 times explanation, right, boss? Select employee number, employee name, job, sal, DPTNO from EMP, where job in. How many question mark? 3 question marks. How many question mark? 3 question marks. Tell me. Order by job. Easy na boss? Life is easy. What do you say, guys? Life is easy na boss? Okay. Designations variable should be in uppercase, guys. Yeah. Set values to query params. PS dot set string 1 comma designation 1. Just 2 comma designation 2, guys. 3 comma designation 3. 2 comma designation 3. Yeah. What is next, guys? Execute the query. What is there, guys? Execute the query. While result set RS is equal to PS dot execute query. So while, guys, nested try block. Nested try block. Result set RS is equal to this. Okay, guys. Tell me next one. List is equal to new array list of. I initialized list collection. Okay. There empty is taken. Here I initialized list collection. While rs dot next. Copy employee class object. Okay. Employee EMP is equal to new employee of EMP dot set employee number rs dot get int of 1. Employee dot set e name rs dot get string of 2. Employee dot set job. Okay, rs dot get string of 2. 2 na 3 na. Employee dot set set sal rs dot get int of 4. Employee dot set department number rs dot, come on guys, rs dot get integer of get integer of 5. Get int only guys, get int of 5. Okay, we'll take float as the salary. So sal is taken as integer. Set sal is taken as integer. Let's make it float. See, even though you change data type, accordingly getter setter methods will be changed. You need not to disturb. Add each employee class object to list collection. List dot add em. List dot add emp. End of while loop. End of while loop. End of try block. End of another try block. This is the place to handle known exceptions. SC dot print stack trace. Throw SC. Tell me next one. Catch exception E. E dot print stack trace. Throw E. Once everything goes smoothly, return list, guys. End of the method, end of everything. Tell me, guys, any rocket science from my side? Tell me, guys, after seeing the storyboard and diagrams, if I implement the same code here, are you feeling really great? Are you feeling really great? So that's why don't teach to grandfather how to cough. I know when to introduce what and which mode should be presented, which topic. My storyboard code and year code matching or not matching? Definitely matching, na boss. And you don't believe. Is that clear, guys? Yes. Yeah, keep all these things in mind. Tomorrow, when we meet, we will discuss more. Next class will be on what? Monday, boss. Monday.